Hi everyone. Whether you are returning or completely new to our channel, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. My name is Lux Hettiyadura. I'm a parenting and child development specialist focusing attachment and trauma, and also I'm the creator of the world's first ever ICF accredited coach education specialization encompassing child adolescent development and parenting, which we call CADP coaching. With nearly 2 decades of my experience in this specialty, what I have seen time and time again is how much our early relationships shape the way we connect, trust, love, and show up in the world. So, in this attachment series, I intend to help you explore those invisible threads, the ones that quietly influence how you connect to yourself, to the people around you, and also life as a whole. So, whether you are here intentionally deepening your self awareness, nurturing healthier relationships, or raising secure children, these episodes will offer insights you can truly apply and grow with. Today, we are starting with a big question, a really important one, which is what is the attachment and why does it matter so much? So, the attachment system is something we are all born with. It's not a personality trait or just a fancy psychological concept. It's actually a built in biological system in the brain designed to help us survive. As babies, as you know, we don't need just food or shelter. We need a connection, a secure connection. We need someone to show up for us, to soothe us when we are distressed. We don't have words to communicate those needs just yet and to help us feel safe in the world. Why? Think about it. For a baby, connection means survival. The attachment system kicks in whenever we feel scared, overwhelmed, or even lonely. And this is why it motivates us to reach for people that we can rely on, especially in our childhood. It's our primary caregivers. And the thing about our attachment system is that it does not disappear when we grow up. It keeps operating, shaping how we deal with stress, how we seek support, and how we respond to intimacy. So, in simple terms, attachment system is like imagine it to be like an internal compass that help us feel safe in relationship, meaning it guides us how we connect, how we cope, and how we love throughout our entire lives. So now let's look at why this really matters and how it shows up long after our childhood. Do you know that when we were little, our brains are like sponges? You know that we are constantly learning, but not through words or logic because we do not have those complex human skills just yet. We learn through experiences, and those repeated early experiences with our caregivers form something called internal working models. Now, don't be afraid of this word. It really means emotional blueprints. Think about these models, internal models, as emotional map, deep beliefs that quietly answer three main questions. Who am I? What can I expect from others? And is the world around me safe for me to explore? So, for example, let's say if your caregiver was consistently supportive, nurturing, and responsive to you, you likely developed a sense of I am lovable, my needs matter, and I can rely on others. But for whatever the reason, say your caregiver was sometimes there and sometimes not, or emotionally distant, you might have internalized the belief that love is unpredictable, I don't matter, I have to work hard to be seen, and I am too much or I'm not enough. The same way, say, if your environment was unsafe or chaotic, the message you might have learned that relationships are risky, I have to protect myself, and therefore I can't let anyone in. Like I said, these beliefs don't stay locked in our childhood. They follow us quietly, shaping how we show up in our adult relationships, often without us even realizing it. So let's look at a few of those areas where attachment plays out. And let's begin with our self relationship, because self relationship is the most important relationship that provides the foundation for every other relationship in our life. And this is why how you treat yourself is a direct reflection of what you experienced in your early years. What do I mean by that? If your needs were met with kindness and patience, you might be able to sit with your feelings, those big feelings when they show up, and you may be able to self soothe and trust your inner voice. You know that stress can occur, but they pass like a cloud. But say, if your emotional needs were neglected, they were ignored or criticized or punished, even, you might be quick to judge yourself. You might be critical of yourself. You might shut down or push through without really checking in what is truly going on with yourself and understanding what your true needs are. And this is why some people find it hard to rest, to ask for help, and feel at ease in their own company. But please, let's remember, it's not a flaw, it's an adaptation. So, when we look at romantic relationships, do you know that attachment patterns can intensify? They can show up strongly in romantic connections. So, say, growing up, if love and connection felt unpredictable and you felt like you had to work hard to be seen or earn love, as an adult, you might find yourself being anxious in relationships. You might reach out to that person more often than you want to, because you are afraid of losing the connection. You need frequent reassurance, fearing that your partner might leave. At the same time, say, however, if the closeness and connection in your childhood felt overwhelming or suffocating and controlling, you might find yourself pulling away or avoiding intimacy at all cost, even when you care for it so deeply. The same way, if love felt unsafe, confusing, you might swing between cling and distancing yourself, craving connection, but not knowing how to feel safe in it. So you might observe yourself in this pull and push dynamics. So, in case if you recognize some of these patterns in yourself, please don't be disheartened. Like I said many times earlier, these are not just habits. These are protective responsiveness your nervous system learned early on, and you can absolutely change them. Other than self relationship and romantic connections, if we look at how attachment patterns show up in our life in general, if we focus on one common problem that many of us have in general, which is not being able to say no and mean it, and not being able to establish healthy boundaries with ourselves and others, you may realize that attachment is influencing all these behaviors. Like the fish doesn't realize it's wet. Sometimes it's truly hard for us to recognize these patterns because these are your emotional map, and one that was drawn before you had any language, and these beliefs are so deeply encoded into your hardwiring. At the same time, here is the part I really want you to hear. These patterns are not permanent. Like I said before, we can change them with reflections, emotional safety, consistent experiences, and supportive relationships. It's absolutely possible to create new emotional map, to shift from survival mode to connection, and from fear to trust. So remember, whatever your attachment style is, it's not who you are. It's how your nervous system adapted to the environment you grew up in. So if you learn to cling, you were trying to stay close. If you learn to shut down, you were protecting yourself. And if you were always scanning for signs of rejection, your system is doing what it thinks it's necessary to keep you safe. And that's okay because that's being human. And also, it's very important to remember that learning attachment is not blaming anyone, not your caregivers, and definitely not yourself. It's about understanding. And with that understanding, finding new ways to connect and relate. So you can choose differently. So as you go through your day, if you are willing to be little curious with compassion and reflect on your attachment patterns, I invite you to think, when do you find yourself needing closeness the most? And when do you tend to pull it away? What helps you feel safe with yourself and with others? And most importantly, what are the stories that you tell yourself about love, about connection, about relationships, especially about yourself and others around you? And let these answers be honest and kind, and know that this is not about truly fixing yourself. It's like we said, it's all about understanding with curiosity. As we have been exploring in this episode today, attachment styles are strategies your system developed to help you stay connected, to survive, and to feel safe as you could in the relationships available to you. And becoming aware of these patterns is the first step in shifting them and building the kind of relationship that feel grounded, secure, and fulfilling. And I hope today's episode gave you something to reflect on and something to carry forward. So, whether you are on a journey of healing yourself, parenting, or deepening self awareness, know that you are not alone. I look forward to exploring attachment in depth in this series. And if this resonated with you, feel free to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on the upcoming episode. And also, I'm hosting a free masterclass on the 4 main attachment styles on the 4th of November. If you would like to join, the registration link is in the description. And if you would like to join my attachment healing circle for absolutely free of charge, type attachment in the comment section and I will share the invitation link to join so you can be part of a genuinely supportive community who are also intentionally healing their hearts and their attachment patterns. So thank you very much for being here today with me. I wish you that you find connections and love that feels safe and learn to rest in them. See you in the next episode. Take care.